G'day everyone, Turbo Tristan here. Today we are working back on the Project MAGA, which is Make Accords Great Again. I feel like we've done a pretty good job so far. This car, I did actually chuck it up for sale and then I changed my mind because I actually got made redundant from my day job, which is kind of a blessing in disguise because I did get some money to live off for a while. And I'm going all out on YouTube and also spoolup.com.au, my own website, my own little business. And I'm building K-swaps for people. I've got 3 other jobs booked in already. They're gonna carry me out the next sort of 3 months worth of work. So now this is my daily driver. And it has been awesome, super duper reliable, has not missed a beat. It's slightly boring because I don't have an exhaust. There's no noise, there's no driver feedback. So I've started to make some changes in the car. So what I've done already, and I did these off camera because they're pretty boring little mods, but I put in the screen from Ronda, which is supplied by Max Peating Rods. And I also put on a Type R shifter that I had laying around, just used parts. The head unit allows me to now run my Bluetooth and stuff, but honestly, it's not very good. So I don't really recommend that one. Sorry, Max Peating Rods. We were trying to use it in Ronda to show the apps for our timer display. It didn't work for that either. I'm going to replace that again later on, but for now it's good. It plays Bluetooth, so I can listen to my own music and my own podcasts in my own time, which I couldn't do before. But that's beside the point. What we're actually going to be doing today is we're going to be fitting all of this stuff here. Now, this is a 2.5-inch system which was pieced together by the guys at Elusive Racing. Andy in particular did all these really nice welds. High flow cat, flex joint, growl center muffler, 2.5-inch all the way back, and then a 2.5-inch pipe. Someone, not Andy, has done some booger welds right there, but they're all solid and sealed up. And then it comes out to a J's Racing single exit legit stainless steel exhaust. And I was going to make just a J pipe and keep the factory headers. And then I thought, hey, I'm going to look online, look on Marketplace, see if anyone's selling some 421 2.5-inch headers. I'll just buy them for cheap, slap them on the car. And literally, guys, Honda Euro guys, what's going on? Everyone is selling headers online. They're beat up to crap. They're dented on the bottom. All the welds are cracked, bent, bashed. And they're still asking like $500, $600, $700 for not much more. You can get a brand new set off the shelf at Elusive. And I thought, that's what I'm gonna do, because, you know, slamming the cars, smashing over speed bumps, cracking the exhaust, or, you know, I don't know how they crack. We've got these exact ones on Ronda, and we are just hammering that car at full noise limiter for 6 hours at a time, and then it gets cooled down, it sits for ages, the steel heats up, expands, shrinks, everything, and we haven't had any issues at all. I just went and bought myself a set of the same ones from Elusive, off the shelf, ready to go. So I'm going to fit those up to my car with the high flow cat. The main thing I wanted was a little bit of noise and a high flow cat just to help the car breathe better. I don't really need headers and a full exhaust. And if it is too loud, I'm going to either put in a Helmholtz resonator pipe, which is an extra piece of pipe that helps take any buzz or drone out of it. Or I'm going to try and squeeze in an extra resonator in the middle, here or here. Looks like there's plenty of room to fit it, so I'm going to mess around with that, see what it sounds like. It is the next day and the exhaust is all fitted up. The reason why it took me a whole day is because I couldn't really use any of that system. It was made for a different set of headers, which I did expect I'd have to do some modification, but I've had to basically remake all of the exhaust from here. Basically, I cut that off and added a V-band flange, 45, used a muffler that came with that system, added in an extra hot dog resonator or another center res, so there's 2 center reses. Moved the cat, shortened everything up, used the same flex, and then made a little Little squiggly corkscrew pipe there to fit the headers. And I have not started it up yet, so I'm gonna get it down the ground and fire up the car. But yeah, there's quite a bit of welding involved. I cut the flange off there and added a V-band. It just helps center everything up right. And yeah, we've moved that up nice and high. It tucks up pretty well under the car. So the lowest part of it is just here, back near the wheels. Nice and centered. And it's not gonna knock on anything. Even though with the Chongdata tune, I don't really need this second O2 sensor. I just put it back in just for the sake of it to fill that hole. High flow cat. And then the ELUSIVE 421 headers in 2.5 inch. Now I've probably just ruined my daily by sticking this on. I'm probably gonna get noise and drone and it's probably gonna be annoying, and it was nice and quiet. But now we're gonna have a lot more power because the headers and the high flow cat are gonna help just with flow, and the rest of it, you know, why not carry it on? Funnily enough, this Jay's Racing pipe here is not 2.5 inch, it's like just under. 2.5 inch pipe slides over here, so that's what that is. That's 2.5 inch elbow, slid over, and then stepped up to 2.5 inch. All of this is 2.5 inch all the way here, but the Jay's Racing, it's like not 2 1/4, it's like 2 3/4 or something. But yeah, it's had a couple of repairs. There were some hangers there that someone's cut off in the past. Someone's done a repair job there, but the rest of it is in all good condition. There it is, genuine Jay's Racing, made in Japan. Even has a serial number or a batch number on there. But enough chit chat, let's get it on the ground, listen to what it sounds like. Cold start for the boys. Outside. Actually sounds pretty lumpy now that it's dropped down in the revs. It's warmed up and the cold start's gone away. Pretty cool, looks pretty spicy. Don't mind the FK8 Type R exhaust, it's for sale if anyone wants it. But we had the center res, the second center res, and then we had 2 mufflers. Now we've got high flow cat, center res, and a rear muffler. So we're only really deleting one and going to a 2.5 inch system all the way through. Should be good. I'll take it for a drive at another time and bring you guys along so you can hear what it's like on the inside. Alrighty, so I was about to go and edit this video about the CL9 and all the mods I've done to it, and I thought, you know what, stuff it. I'm gonna go and buy a newer head unit that has Apple CarPlay and Android and all that stuff built in. This one has a lot more wires because we didn't use it in 3 different cars, and it's also got a reverse camera, which I definitely need. I'm gonna have to figure out running the lines for that through the car, but I'm gonna get this installed. Iverson, say hello. Hello. That's who you hear meowing in the background of all my videos, big boy Iverson. Anyway, I'm gonna get this fitted because I can't deal with not having maps or any of that other stuff in my car. Shush. Well, I finally got a day free to myself to work on my own car. So we're going to be taking off the J's Racing 2.5 inch supposedly rear muffler. I'm going to be switching it out with this Varex, definitely 2.5 inch X-Force exhaust. These are Australian company and Australian designed, and they've got this little valve here on the side which is a remote control, which opens up a butterfly inside there which can quiet the exhaust down to basically stock sounding at idle. It does make a bit of a whooshing noise if you're fully into it with the valve closed, like a whoosh noise. But otherwise, this is going to get this super duper quiet, basically close off the exhaust. Not sure if you can pick it up on camera, but there's actually a little hole there on the side where the exhaust gas can still flow through and around. It doesn't restrict the flow at all, which is the beauty of the design. You're still going to get pretty much maximum exhaust flow, but you're not going to have the noise, which is the straight through buzz that you get out of these cars. So this is going to get chopped off. Now I've held it up here, and the muffler is a similar length, comes back to somewhere here. So I'm hoping that what I can do is, with a very small tweak, I can do one cut, slide that on and sort of twist it a bit, weld it on, and then we've got that there straight, and then I can put a tip on. The other thing is I leave it straight out as a straight pipe, which is just going to come straight out here. Eventually I can cut it down, put a tip on it, whatever I want. I am thinking that I'll go something classy, kind of like the stock pipes, which I still have, with a nice rolled tip. So something like this. So it looks pretty classy and stock. After all, I'm in my 40s and I'm not a kid anymore. So something like that might be appropriate to cruise around the daily. But this does look pretty sick with the lip on there, with the downpipe. So yeah, I'm undecided. For now, I think based on how that looks, I'm gonna just run the straight out pipe with the valve, and I might look at getting a 2.5 inch to 3 inch tip, maybe on a bit of an angle, something with nice roll tip that looks like a factory sort of a thing. Oh, and if you don't know, the Varex is a remote controlled system. I sort of touched on that, but you get this box which goes inside the car, plugs into this remote, sort of tells it when to turn on and off again. You get a couple of remotes inside there as well. And the wiring, now you can hook this up to constant power when the engine's on, or you can just use the cigarette lighter plug. Until Ollie comes around, I'm just going to use a cigarette lighter plug for now, so I can control it. Show you guys what it's like on vid. But yeah, that's what it comes with, full remote. It's going to solve our drone problem, which is really embarrassing because my missus at the moment hates going in the car with me because it sounds too ricey. It's a bit too raspy and burbly and loud, and it just, yeah, it only sounds good when you're fully up it or you're just cruising in 6th gear. Otherwise, anywhere else in between, it sounds like dog shit, gotta say. Well, that was easy. One cut and welded it straight on. Slipped straight over the pipe there. Not too bad welds, not the best. And hopefully that looks right in the center. Now I've left a big gap here and I've hung it fairly low, so if I do want to put a larger tip on, there's plenty of clearance. So whether I go 3 inch or 4 inch, there's plenty of space around there. It does hang slightly lower, but I'm not too worried about it. There it is from the side, so yeah, not too low. And I just had to use this bracket here to put on one hanger, which I just made, and yeah, don't look too close, so that's pretty ugly. Everything else was as it was before. Now it's time to run this wire up here. Now the old bar used to have reverse sensors on it, so there is a grommet somewhere up in here where those plugs came through. So I'm just going to find that, from the inside, drop the other end of the plug through, plug it in, pull it up tight, then zip tie it out of the road. Then I can run the rest of the wires. Just for now, I'm going to go to the cigarette lighter because it's the easiest, and you guys know me, I don't do wiring, so we're going to get that done so we can test it, and I'll show you the first start and the first test. So she's all plugged in, just the most basic way, straight into the cigarette lighter. So straight in here to the cigarette lighter, straight into the box, which is there on the seat, and I've got the remote in my hand. Now currently the valve is open, so I'm going to fire up the car. Already it's actually quieter than it was before, which is good. So we're already winning. Now let's hit that valve. And now we're mega quiet, which is exactly what I wanted. And it didn't change anything with the note of the car. As far as it's not choking is what I mean, but definitely like stock. And then hit the button, done. We've got the noise. So for now, that's perfect. It's going to definitely do. I can't believe how much quieter this is with an actual big oval muffler. Before it was just that straight through, really small Canon, which I just sold. So I got my money back on that. Super quiet. How good's that? My missus will want to come for drives in the car with me again and won't be embarrassed. It sounds like a fart. Oh yeah. And all importantly, inside, valve closed. And then open. Far out, sounds way better. Sounds classy. Let's go hear it outside. And it looks pretty good, gotta say. Very happy with that. Heaps of ground clearance. Okay, so just wanted to top off the video with one last interior mod, and that was showing off the finished product of the unit all bolted in and working. And then what I also did is I went to the wreckers and I found this compartment from a lower grade facelifted CL9, and it has the little compartment down here, whereas the old one had a double space, this tiny little compartment, and then this space here for a map CD. So DVD map CD player thingy for the sat nav, which is no longer needed. So that is going to the bin, and then this one goes in here. I can chuck my phone in there, it's on charge. I made a really small hole in the back just to put the cords through right down there. It's so dark you can't even see it. It is a little bit, there is a little bit of a drag on there because of the cords behind here sort of scratching on it, but I don't care about that. But we've got this all sorted. So that makes me very happy because now I'm comfortable. I've got my tunes, I've got my AC, I've got everything in the car working. And then let's go check out the outside because I've done some pretty big mods on the outside of the car. So one other thing I wanted to talk about was I got a whole bunch of globes from Millennium Lighting, including the LEDs down here. They're like 15-20 times brighter than the factory ones. And then we've got the bright tail lights. These are super impressive. So all the way through you can see those LEDs in there. And then these reverse lights, oh my god, super duper bright. Like at night time these might as well be spotlights, they are so bright. This mod really helps reversing at night time without a camera, all that sort of stuff on an older car. I chucked them in my Mrs. CU2 and she was freaking out. They were so bright. She's like, oh, am I going to get in trouble for these? But they really help seeing at night time. So I highly recommend Millennium Lighting. They're down in Braeside here in Melbourne. They're online as well. They're on Facebook. And yeah, they've got all the LED globes to make your car shine. So bright you can see the tail lights a mile away, and the reverse lights are a game changer. So get on those. But let's check out the mods I've done on the outside of the car. So I did kind of give it away here in the back with the Sport lower lip, or the Type R lower lip. Same. So we've got that here in the back with the Varex. I do have a tip on the way. FL3 wheels, which you guys have seen, but now we can see I've got a Type R genuine Honda lip and a genuine Honda grille to complete the look. Both of those parts, the lip was blue, the rear lip was silver, the front lip was silver, but I did paint all of them again, just with some rattle cans from Complete Auto Paints. You hear it a million times, it's all in the prep. I painted this whole rear bar, which I got from the wreckers, with this lip on it. I paid only 250 bucks for that whole bumper and lip, and I see people online trying to sell these lips for like 450 bucks, 500 bucks for just a lip and a bar. So I got that for half price at the wreckers. It was good enough to just chuck straight on, but there was a couple of scratches. It's not perfect, there's a little bit of a bump just there. So I smoothed the whole thing out and painted it with a rattle can. And the paint match is awesome. We got that done at Complete Auto Paints in Springvale, for anyone wanting to know. The lip was in really good condition. I went pretty hard on cleaning it up and doing all the body work from this angle that you can see, but I didn't bother with underneath because I figure it's going to get scraped up anyway. And the finishing touch on there, I got some blue headlight contact and just put it over the fog lights. I don't know why I did that. I just wanted to do something different, so I had some in the shed. From when we were playing around with possibly going to blue headlights on Ronda, but we ended up going with the yellow ones. And lastly, the grille, got this from Alan from the Accord Euro group. He's been selling this for a while and I jumped on that, grabbed that. Genuine parts, no tabs broken, nothing. And same with that, no tabs broken, absolutely perfect fitment. So I think that's going to complete this video and complete the look of the car. We are full OEM plus now, all OEM parts, but just plus. So yeah, I think that looks sick. Still need to do something about all the dents in the car and the scratches and scrapes, but for $2.5 grand, this thing is absolutely awesome. And I'm hoping to try and win one on auction that's got 510,000 kilometers on it. Still going strong. If you think I've made this Accord great again, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and tell me what else I should be doing to this thing. But so far the list is quite long. Type R front and rear lip, Type R grille, Type R intake, full custom intake, K&N filter. We've actually done a Chong Data Stage 2 reflash since the last time as well. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, so we're now Stage 2, which is the full exhaust, the high flow cat, the air intake, the intake plenum, and the full exhaust all the way through. So Stage 2. And I've got to say, it absolutely rips now. It does make a massive difference just going from a Stage 1 to a Stage 2 with all those mods. Driving around before getting the tune, it was definitely better with a set of headers and a high flow cat, but yeah, you definitely notice the pickup with the tune now. And yeah, I'm just absolutely stoked with this as my daily. Now that I'm not working for anyone else, I get to cruise this around and just, yeah, I get to drive something fun for once instead of a company car. And I'm basically just doing Honda Accord Euro mechanical work, selling parts and doing K-swaps. As you would have seen in my last video, we've got this one over here. We'll be starting on that one soon. We've got the two in the shed. So yeah, if you like what you see and you like K-swaps and you like Honda content, make sure you subscribe and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.